Hi, it's Xanthe. I thought I'd just make a video just about some thoughts I've been having, just looking at some photos from about 3 years ago, which is when I had skin cancer surgery here. So sometimes just speaking on the video, even though sometimes it's quite hard, it has enabled me to process some stuff, even though I've ended up deleting most of the videos, deleted most of the videos. So I was intending to get out for a walk. Hopefully I still will. It's winter here in New Zealand, but it's a sunny day. Yeah, just mental health sort of stuff. Incidentally, I got a highly commended with the amateur photo competition in New Zealand, just photography awards. Judged by pro photographers. It was actually a phone pic, well, a composite of 9 phone pics. So anyway, what was I trying to say about this? I decided when I had my washing on to just, go through and delete some photos, just to clear up some space. I tended to take selfies in the past, kind of like a gauge of, I called them mood selfies because I could look at them and sort of figure out how I was feeling to some extent. And it was also kind of like a bit of a diary, but then more recently sort of the things have been feeling a bit more stable, I suppose. Taking them just for mainly colour comparisons. So I'm just deleting anything excess, and I'll just pick through and find the ones I like the best to pick up. But basically, it's sort of just like a housekeeping type thing to clear out stuff occasionally. But I kind of wanted to, I was just feeling a bit, blur. So I kind of feel like that means there's something there with what I'm trying to process. There's a couple of things on my mind. One is, I think it's to do with anniversaries. It's kind of like one thing that I worked out when I was processing for PTSD, I had a lot of years of therapy, was that I never really forget anniversaries. Even if I kind of do, I still have a reaction to them, and then figure it out later. And there was, whether it's grief or whatever, tangled in with all the trauma stuff. Incidentally, I am having, I've been approved 20 additional therapy sessions, for like a follow-up kind of thing, to focus on the here and now and the future kind of things, because of ongoing anxiety or whatever. Whereas I've done years of trauma processing stuff, so I've got a new psychologist. Anyway, so go around in circles, that's me. And I've just been struggling with insomnia still, but anyway, so I'm trying to say about this. I decided, just work backwards, just with the photos, just which were transmitted from my phone kind of thing. Just kind of deleting, anything that looks sort of more the same or that I don't really want. And I got to exactly 3 years ago with looking at selfies, because you can filter. It does a pretty good job of really figuring out which one's me. But anyway, I decided to stop then, because I guess it's sort of was the time of my life that was quite painful, because literally, because I had the skin cancer surgery, I had a wedge like that much wide of my lip, but just probably the size of my little finger, cut out of my whole lip. So I've got wonky lips now and a big scar here. But there were a few photos before, just a few days before, and I think just to show my lips were kind of like one of my best features. And then I took a few photos the day of the surgery, a few days after, stitches out, that was extremely painful. The surgery involved cutting through a nerve that runs through there. So the before pic, you can hardly even see it. The skin cancer was basal cell carcinoma. It looked like a drop of wax on my skin, and then there was like a scar through it from the biopsy. Now, I actually noticed it from these sort of videos, because I remember one a clinician saying, how did you find it? Because it's not that obvious. And I said, well, actually, just in one of the videos, I just saw this dot reflecting differently on my face. And I thought, oh, so I had a closer look in the mirror, just scrutinized, because I didn't really notice it. And what happened, just these kind of cancers aren't usually deadly, but they can be quite disfiguring. You know, they get larger and you have to take full depths of tissue or a large amount of tissue out. And it can end up with, there's another one called squamous cell carcinoma or something like that. It's sort of related. But those sort of skin cancer surgeries are often on one's face and often taking a large chunk of skin out, and you see these sort of surgeries and people have had to have a flap created from their forehead or something, and a tube or something to patch their nose or something like that. It can knock your confidence a lot. But anyway, just the actual surgical parts of it, just kind of try and rehash it all in complete detail of what I remember. But I had the surgery when I was awake. I was actually sedated from my meds still, which they said was probably a good thing. You know, so I just had to close my eyes with all the bright surgical lights and everything. And then, going to be a little bit graphic, but I could, you know, I could hear the sound of the machine, and I could taste the blood and everything. It was horrible. And then my lip was clamped with this bit of metal, and you know, the bit that wasn't anaesthetised was painful, and then just had to spit out a lot of blood afterwards, and I just remember it being very painful to talk, to drink, to eat, and I ended up, I couldn't brush my teeth properly because I couldn't open my mouth properly, and then my dentist told me off because I had a filling and extra tartar there, but I said I couldn't open my mouth, and because I couldn't, you know, I don't want to go back to the dentist for over a year to get my mouth jammed open to do the scaling or whatever. And but anyway, then when I was recovering from this surgery, well, I had the stitches out, which was very painful because the stitches are pulled extremely tight, and it's a really tender area around your mouth. And it's full tissue, like right through the inside of the mouth, all cut away. So 3 layers of stitches, so the inside ones dissolve. But then I got the stitches out, and then my dad died. And then it was just a few days before that, I self-published a book, Bipolar Courage, Are You Sure You're Not Autistic? Which I have felt zero motivation to just kind of tell people about it much. I've ended up taking my books down from Amazon just because I'm unhappy with a few things on there. So they're only available, my books as ebooks currently from a few ebook distributors. I don't do the print at the moment because I've taken down from Amazon, and then I just, you know, just all the work and effort that went into writing my books based on my experiences. But anyway, just yeah, it's coming up to 3rd anniversary from Dad died. He died peacefully, but it was unexpected. It was still a shock. I would have found him if my mum hadn't arrived home, and then she was banging on my window to get in because she'd locked herself out, because she could see through the window. But yeah, I was just in my room in my pyjamas still doing a few things. I was actually doing some links to do with the book. So I just feel, yeah, I don't know. I just guess I've been plodding along, but also this very month, this actually would have been my 30th wedding anniversary, would you believe? Which was also a very painful thing for me. I don't love my ex-husband anymore. I used to. there were so many lies and everything about the whole circumstances and everything. I don't want to hash on about that, but it's still an anniversary coming up, and I've actually gone and booked in a couple of weeks annual leave from my part-time job just after these kind of anniversaries. Just sort of, you know, there's the Father's Day because my dad died just a couple of days after Father's Day, and just, you know, just trying to, yeah, just, yeah, I need to get out and get a little bit of sunlight. I am feeling a little bit down at the moment, and a lot of that will be just in winter. You get very short daylight hours. But then the flip side of that was that New Zealand also has, and in Australia where I'd lived for nearly a decade, has some of the highest rates of skin cancer, and most of that is related to the harsh sun conditions. So I kind of don't really want to, you know, go walking at very high UV times of day. But also when I was a child, back in the 70s and 80s, I remember adults slathering me in tanning lotion just to make me look very bronzed. So I'm not tanned at the moment, or very minimal incidental sunlight. But I still need to get out just to get a walk, and just to have a bit of sunlight. Just, you know, if the winters start to, you know, feel a bit down, I don't feel like doing anything. So anyway, thanks.